Hey everybody. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of lighting set up. I'm sorry. I was supposed to be doing that right now. And we're gonna go ahead and get this started. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Um, this is episode 3 of 32. Washington Redskins. I'm gonna try to not speak as loud, I guess, because the last video when I was watching it, my S's sounded like ch, and I'm not trying to have that. Um, So the Washington Redskins are one of the most hated on franchises in sports history, and it's because of their derogatory use of the term Redskin to depict an American Indian. Um, and a lot of people are saying change the name to the Warriors. Washington Warriors sounds pretty cool, or something. That's not disrespecting uh, American Indians in history like that. But they won't change it. And that's not a talking point. That was just a thing I think should happen. They should change their name because it just makes them look stupid. And I would never want to play for a team that's called the Redskins. But if I had a choice, I would obviously play if I had to. Some talking points. Number one, Chase Young. You got the best defensive player in the class. What are y'all gonna do with him? Obviously, putting him at D end is a smart idea. Him, Matthew Ioannidis, and Payne, Deron Payne is a deadly combination there. Ryan Kerrigan also, subbing him in and out with Ioannidis is probably a smart idea. Going to be a deadly pass rush if Chase Young can stay healthy. I'm not going to talk too much about him because everyone's talking a lot about him, and there's a lot more to this team than is on the surface. Dwayne Haskins Jr. or Kyle Allen? I've actually been asked that question before. I take Dwayne Haskins Jr. in a heartbeat. Listen, when the Giants didn't pick him in the draft and they picked Daniel Jones, um, everyone was mad at the Giants for picking Daniel Jones, and they went after him. Went after the Giants, and they didn't realize. And then they were all saying, Dwayne Haskins was such a better option. Well, the second that Ron Rivera came in and took over for the fired, wow, I've forgotten his last name. When they fired, oh my goodness, Jay Gruden. There we go. When they fired Jay Gruden, um, and they brought him in as their head coach over the offseason, everyone immediately thought that Dwayne Haskins is done. He's not going to get to play any, and they're going to bring someone else in, which is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And how you could believe that is what's scaring me. They brought in Kyle Allen as a backup, not as the starter. Kyle Allen tried to prove himself last year, and he did okay for the Panthers, and he still probably thinks he's a starter, but he can't start. Dwayne Haskins is younger. If people were so hyped up over him for the Giants, then why is it any different for the Redskins? He came in day one starter. They're not going to have Alex Smith back ever. He probably will never play football again. So why would you ever start Kyle Allen over Dwayne Haskins unless there's an injury? You give him Scary Terry. You give him Gandy Golden. I forget, it was Antonio or something like that. Gandy Golden, rookie. You give him Cam Sims. You give him all of these good wide receivers. You give him Thaddeus Moss at tight end, and you have yourself a good spread. You can throw it to people, and you won't have to be afraid of who you're throwing to. So while you would start Kyle Allen has a better arm. He'll get the ball down the field more, and he looks, like a quarterback. Dwayne Haskins has the speed, the ability to get out of the pocket if it collapses, which it will a lot this season. They do not have a good O-line. And so you're going to have Dwayne Haskins moving a lot around the pocket and having to make throws on the run. Kyle Allen's not as good at that. Dwayne Haskins is better. End of discussion. Start Dwayne Haskins over Kyle Allen, unless Dwayne Haskins gets injured or starts messing up. How does the O-line look? Well, they traded away, their best player, Trent Williams, to the 49ers. because he didn't want to play for the Redskins anymore. He hated the organization. That's understandable. That's what Le'Veon Bell did. So did Antonio Brown. Um, it's a fact of life. They're going to do that. Well, they still have, Chase Roulier, a good center, serviceable starter, veteran, good all. I mean, to be a really bad center, you won't start in the league. So Chase has definitely proved himself. He's a starter. He's been a starter for a little bit. Wes Martin, not a lot I know about him. I know he's not related to Zach or Nick, unless he is, and I'm completely wrong. I'm sorry, I didn't look that up. I'm just assuming Wes Martin at left guard. At right guard. He's already been put down as a starter on their depth chart. Not not the best. Probably could look at getting a backup to move in. I know they drafted Ross Pierschbacher in later rounds, and they'll probably put him in, try him at guard, try him at center. Then they, of course, have Morgan Moses at right tackle. Morgan Moses is the how am I going to put this for people who watch football but don't know football to understand? He is the he's the Alejandro Villanueva to the Steelers O line. You know how Alejandro Villanueva is like the person who's not terrible, but definitely could use somebody else soon. That's what Morgan Moses is. He's not terrible. He's not Trent Williams good. That's why he's on the right side. He can't block the left very well. But Morgan Moses, serviceable. I would probably take him over Nate Solder. I'd take him over Lyle Collins. I would not take him over Lane Johnson, but he's definitely serviceable. They also brought in, they drafted Sadiq Charles. I'm not sure where he comes from, but they drafted him. He just says tackle on the depth chart, but I'm assuming he's a swing tackle, and they wouldn't spend a pick on somebody unless they want him to play left tackle. And then they'll transition him to right once he learns left. Another player they drafted is not drafted, but picked up is Wes Schweitzer. He played for the Falcons last year. I think, because I know he was on their roster. He's probably going to start at left guard. He's good. He's definitely a swing guard. He could play either one, and he will definitely be playing either one because I'm assuming Wes Martin is going to switch as well to left and right, which would be a good combination. Mess him up a little bit on that D line. Looking at their running back situation, they have Darius Geis, who's, if he doesn't get injured anymore, he could probably be top 12 running back in the league. And then you have AP. AP lost a lot of steps. Like, he's Emmitt Smith levels of old. Getting to the end of that career, he got traded. He got cut. He got traded from the Saints to the Redskins, and it's just not going to work out for him. He has 2 seasons. He has one more. He's probably going to retire. He's one of the best running backs to ever do it. They don't call him all day for nothing. But yeah, this is probably his farewell tour, if not next year. Then we're going to look at the defense. The defense, not Chase Young. We already know who he is. We already know Ohio State, best defensive lineman in the nation. He's there. You also have Ryan Kerrigan, Matthew Ioannidis, Deron Payne, holding down D-line. You have Thomas Davis Sr., another Ron Rivera boy that they brought in, who will be good. He's a veteran, serviceable veteran. They had John Bostic. I don't know if they still have him or not, but they had him. He was a good veteran. And then they also have, and he's one of my favorite players on that defense, even though he's like a backup / starter. Troy Apke, White Lightning, great safety, really fast. He will make hopefully an impact this year for the Redskins. Redskins just need some better management. I'm telling y'all, that's the key to success in the NFL is good management. You think that the Patriots won all those Super Bowls because they had Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't do it himself. Tom Brady was helped by the cast of characters he had around him because of the management. Bill Belichick was a great coach, still is, best of all time. But he wouldn't have been able to do that without the players that the team drafted and signed. And of course, he had a part in that. But you know, it, it's a mesh. So when Ron Rivera goes 14 or 3-15 this or 13 this season, 3-13. Everyone's going to be looking at him like, okay, yep, no, he needs to be fired. But in all honesty, he's just doing what he can with the people he has, dealing with Dan Schneider. Um, Dwayne Haskins, hoping he takes that big step up and becomes the franchise quarterback for the Redskins. Alex Smith, we wish him the best. I do. My mom's a Chiefs fan. She likes Alex Smith, and I respect the guy. I haven't had a problem, but it's tough for somebody to come back from that. So we wish him all the best. And that's going to do it. This was episode 3 of 32. The Washington Redskins, my next video, probably coming out next day or two, will be the New York Giants, and then we'll take a leap out from the NFC East, and I will jump into the AFC North. I'll start covering the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens next. So Giants, and then from then on out, NFC North, AFC North until we get past those. So thank y'all for watching. This was episode 3. Hopefully the audio is not that bad. I recorded it right after episode 2, so my voice is getting a little bit tired. But again, thank you for watching. I'm Bennett Ferguson.